success on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
We won't come in my work. Mike, right there. Mike, man, that's trash. That's trash. Mike, right there.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. 15.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
I don't need to. All right, lady. Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball. Yellow. Get that ball. Hey, watch that. Go. Check Mike 54.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Well, that's good for a 1st down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. 2 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down at 4, Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
54, Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Yellow. He's checking. Crash.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He's going to walk one deep left side. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight. 5.
A draw play for Mixon. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
I can't believe they even let you play. 44 at the mark. 44 at the mark. Check. Alert.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Right there.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8 at the 22-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1. From the 22, here's second and 8.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 78 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Good running from Barkley there on first down as he'll get forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another first and 10 here. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second and 7, Mahomes. And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Taking it in from 4 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there for the Bengals. And even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And out across midfield down to the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school that one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Now Mahomes going to get this one to Hill. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 38 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is what...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Next to score, Chiefs 21, Bengals 7.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now Roethlisberger. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And able to find Green. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Hill, the intended receiver once again. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air. And then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Watch out for Hill on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
A first down carry for Barkley. 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 43 yards. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
You got that right there. Shoot. Check three.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's into the clear. The 40. The 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
Well, fit me for a neck brace, partner. One kickoff return in one direction for a touchdown, and the other one, they almost broke going back the other way.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back.
the shotgun. They run with Barkley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Spike, 57, 57.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5. Hey, 43. Seam 6. Watch the screen. Hey, yellow, hey, go going. Switch it.
On 3rd down, Barkley. Oh, look at the Jew. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Forced out to his left. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for.
And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Elliott good on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively? Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Saquon Barkley saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. The extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught inside the 25. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. 51 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the gun to give to Mixon. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert there to make the grab, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, 43, 15. You got to go right here. You got to push it.
Barkley. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTA